back to Magic 89.9. You're still tuned into the Pop Stop. My name is RikiFlo. We've been plugging this for the longest time, for days now. We even have a hashtag for it. It's hashtag Troye. On Magic 899, we asked you to send in your questions, and we got them, and we finally have him on the other end of the line. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Troye Sivan.
Hello.
Hey.
What an intro. That was incredible.
Really? I'm so touched you like that.
Yes.
Well, the best
really
for you. We only want the best for you. So, hey, Troye, it was so nice of you to take some time out of your busy schedule to talk to us. How are you doing?
No worries, of course. I'm good, thank you. I'm really, really good. Yeah, life is very amazing at the moment.
I know, I'm so happy that we got to talk to you at the wake of you possibly joining Taylor Swift's squad. So, we caught you at a really good time. How does that feel?
It was insane. I was just like out. It was late at night. It was like 1 a.m. And my friend who saw the tweet first, he shrieked so loud that I thought I thought something horrible had happened. And then he was like, "Troye, you'll never guess who just tweeted about Wild." And I had a gut feeling, and I felt like in that moment everything just like my world just, I don't know, crashed in the best way possible.
Wait, so you had a gut feeling that it was actually Taylor Swift?
Well, the weird thing is that I had thought to myself, like I'd said when I was writing the song, I wrote it with this girl, Alex Hope, and when we were writing it, we were like, I feel like Taylor Swift would...
Wow.
We listened to 1989 a lot before we wrote it, and so it was like, kind of a little bit inspired by 1989, and so we just like, I don't know, it was like, that was always the dream, was for her to hear it, and so for her to hear it and support it, so much and so vocally was amazing.
Isn't that amazing how the world just sort of, works?
It's insane. It's so crazy. I'm so lucky. Yeah,
you are pretty lucky, and we're super, super happy for you. Just a really quick question though. What is your favorite Taylor Swift song?
My favorite Taylor Swift song is probably actually Wildest Dreams. I was so happy when it got released as the next single. I think it's so pretty.
I would have to agree.
You're in Love, which is a really, really nice one.
Nice. Well, hopefully, do you see like a collaboration in the future, you and Taylor Swift?
Oh, I would die for that. That would be
right? It would be pretty. It would be pretty nuts. And I know that all your fans here in the Philippines, they would kill for that to actually happen. She is one of the most talented songwriters in our generation, and I know you agree with me. But speaking of writing your own
100%.
stuff, you're extremely open about your songwriting, about how you're really feeling it lately. What changed, though, since last year that led to this?
Well, I mean, I wrote all of the songs last year as well. It's just that songwriting has become like the most important thing for me in my life. I just love it so much. It's so fun, and so. Yeah, it's just, I feel like it's getting a lot better as well, and it's just, it's like a puzzle that you have to figure out how to say exactly what you want to say in the right amount of words, and make it sound good at the same time. So yeah.
Can you sort of describe your process? Because I know that different artists, they have different processes when they write their music. Some prefer to do it completely naked. Some like to do it in the shower. What's Troye Sivan's process like?
So I like to do it with friends. Like I get to work with some amazing people that I've become really, really close friends with. And I just like it when it's really relaxed. I like it mostly at nighttime with drinks and food. And we just it feels like a chill out session rather than, we have to write a song and we have to do it right now, and it's just I don't know, it's casual and it's fun. And that's when I tend to write the best stuff. But if I get too chilled out, then I just end up eating and not doing anything at all. So it's kind of, you have to find the balance a little bit.
That's the best, though. That's also a good time,
Yeah, but I don't think my record label likes it when I do that.
Yes. So let's focus on the writing. So you're 20, right?
Yep.
And I can hardly believe that, because you had so many accomplishments already under your belt. How on earth did you start doing what you're doing?
Thank you, first of all. I just started singing when I was really, really young, and then by the time I was 12, I had sort of found the internet and found YouTube, and so I started posting like 7 or 8 years ago, and then I got into acting while my voice was breaking, and did that for a while, and then got more seriously into YouTube, and now sort of back into music a little bit more, and it's just kind of happened over the last 10 or so years.
Isn't YouTube amazing? YouTube is just phenomenal.
It's the best. It's so insane.
I ask this frequently to all the artists that we get to talk to here on The Magic. If there's one social media site that you could not live without, what would it be?
I would have to say Twitter. You know,
Really?
I love Tumblr. I think Tumblr is the funniest place on the internet. I think YouTube is so good for just everything. But Twitter is like the place. It's like the place that I go to the most. You know, that's where I feel like the majority of the conversation happens.
Really, on Twitter?
Yep.
Nice. Okay. I was going to say
and
YouTube.
as well, I see all of the love from the Philippines on Twitter all the time.
Exactly, exactly. You know, speaking of the love from the Philippines, let's talk about Wild. You know, so many fans of yours here in the Philippines have been tweeting us nonstop to play it, and we finally have it in the playlist, and that's why everybody's super happy about it. They keep on voting for it for the daily countdown and the weekly countdown as well. But let's talk about the album first. Describe what this album is to you.
This album to me is the last sort of year of my life in music. You know, it's stories that have all happened to me. All of them are real stories that have really happened to me over the last year or so, and a lot has changed for me over the last year. Yeah, it was just about kind of capturing that in a way that I felt was beautiful.
And you described it as sort of like a dark poppy sound, yes?
Yeah, I would say that.
That's
kind of like dark alternative pop.
And I love what you're doing with it, is because it's sort of you called it the Blue Neighborhood trilogy.
Right. Yeah, so I've got 3 music videos coming out. There's one story. It's 3 different songs, but it's one story across all 3 music videos. And yeah, it was just sort of this crazy idea that I wasn't sure if it was going to happen, and it actually ended up happening. And so I think we've ended up with 3 really powerful videos with a message that I really believe in. And so, yeah, definitely an important thing, I feel like, for me to do.
I was just about to describe it as being really powerful, because we saw the video and it was just like stunning. It was absolutely wild is what it was. And that's probably the message that you wanted to get across. But what, among the 6 tracks of the album, which one is your favorite, the closest to your heart?
For me, it would have to be Ease, because it's a song featuring Broods. Broods are this duo from New Zealand that I've been such a huge fan of for such a long time. And so, you know, being able to write with them and have a song with them is a dream come true. So I'd have to say that one's my favorite. And it's also about my mom, so it's just like, it's close to home.
And I think one of the lyrics is, take me back to the basics and the simple life.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, I don't feel that way all the time, but sometimes it's just like, when you're missing your mom, it feels a little bit like that would be a nice thing to do.
Yeah, I totally understand you. This is so amazing. If you guys just tuned in, welcome to the Pop Stop. My name is RikiFlo. We're talking to Mr. Troye Sivan and about his album Wild. Being so young and accomplished, you know, Troye, what's your mindset on haters who try to rain on your parade or, you know, cramp your style?
You know, I feel like I'm constantly learning more and more about how to deal with that side of things. And, you know, it gets to me. And I think the only way to kind of, first of all, you just got to try your best to let it go in one ear and out the other. And then the other thing as well is to just try and not kind of like look for it. If you know that someone is going to say something nasty about you, or if you know a particular place where people are saying mean things on the internet, or if you're, you know, being bullied on Facebook by a certain person, really the best reaction is to just completely ignore it, pretend like it doesn't exist, or block it. If it's, you know, if it's like, if you can't escape it, then block the person. Just because, you know, you can get sucked into like this cycle of just reading it and kind of letting it happen to you. Yeah. And I feel like the more that you just, you know, ignore it and brush it off and block it or mute it or whatever you have to do, that's, you know, the best way to deal with it, I've found.
I think that, you know... And
not to acknowledge it as well, because if you acknowledge it, it kind of like, it fuels it more.
Yeah, and it sort of makes it a bit true if you acknowledge it, right?
Exactly.
Sort of like that. But yeah, you know, I always thought that God's gift was actually the block button, or like the mute button on Twitter.
100%.
Right? It's just absolutely the best. So for all the aspiring songwriters out there who are tuned into you and who are you know, jotting down notes from whatever you're saying, do you have any advice?
I would say put yourself out there. You know, a couple of years ago you would have had to have like you know, try to record a demo and send it out to people and kind of hope for the best. But it's not like that anymore. You can go out there and put yourself out there. All you need is an internet connection and a microphone or a video camera, and you can make it happen for yourself. So definitely put yourself out there, and then tweet me your songs and stuff.
Wow. Are you actually very interactive with your fans?
Yeah, I mean, we talk every day. You know, I'm on Twitter and Snapchat and Facebook and Instagram. That's how I know that I want to come to the Philippines so bad.
Please
because
come.
they're so vocal online that I want to just, like, come hang out and say thank you for all the support in person.
Let's go, man. Let's make it happen. Fly in next week.
I know. I got it.
Okay, last question. Troye, fill in the blank. I wish music nowadays were more blank.
Well, I feel really good about music actually right now, you know, as a general thing. But I guess I wish music were more, I don't know, music's like perfect at the moment, I feel like. You know, you can make whatever you want and it's going to get attention online, if, you know, by someone. Someone's going to love what you're doing, you know. So I feel like music's the best that it's ever been right now. Hey, this is Troye Sivan and you're listening to today's best music, Magic 89.9. Magic